Hi Maniacs. Let's rip some Prismatic Evolutions while I talk about some of the things that I was the most shocked to find out when I first started my Pokemon business. Let's crack open this first tin and get talking. Pretty little Eevee coin, art card. So when I initially started my Pokemon business, I was already doing content creation, and that's kind of where the idea started. People were asking me about my collection, where I got my acrylic storage, where I was sourcing product, and that kind of just took off as the Pokemon market started to get worse, so to speak. So it didn't necessarily come from a place of me wanting to be a business owner in the first place. I've always wanted to pursue something like being an entrepreneur or a founder of something, and kind of being my own boss has always been, a nice thought. I guess it is for most people, to be completely honest. But when I first started out, there was a lot of things that I might have not considered that maybe I should have, and that would have made it easier. And the first thing for me was definitely the fact that I never really... I mean, of course I did some budgeting, but I never really truly sat down and noted down all my expenses. That kind of came at a later point, and I had to backtrack everything that I had spent, everything that I have bought, just to know what my, original price was on things, knowing if I was making money or losing money. And a lot of these things I had maybe, collected a bit or had more than one of in my collection. So I was kind of in a bad place when it came to the financial part, and that has been not haunting me necessarily, but it's definitely been harder than if I had just, kept a better record from the beginning. So yeah, the first thing that Pokeball. I just thought it was a Master Ball. Pokeball, cool. So the first thing that came as a surprise for me was definitely the fact that I had to... I should have been better with my finances, not in terms of spending, but in terms of documenting everything and making sure that I actually had, all the data and, all the money was accounted for in some way, one or another. That is something I wish I could have done differently if I started now. Let's rip the Umbreon tin. Cute Eevee coin and the art card. The second thing that I wish I had paid more attention to, or maybe known before I got started, is how hard it is to source Pokemon products, especially. And also how hard it is to actually get a deal with any accessory distributor, sleeves, binders, whatever, especially if you want something that's more in demand or, sought after in the market. It's kind of taking the same turn as Pokemon products themselves. So my suggestion is definitely that if you are looking to get into the Pokemon business, or I guess any business at all, make sure that you have your contacts in order and know where to source your products, because that's definitely a big one, and that can also kind of make or break your business in terms of how many money you will be making and your margins and everything. So that's definitely a big one. The final thing is almost going back to the first thing that I mentioned in this video, and that is not necessarily expenses as such, but I think it kind of shocked me how much stuff you need to invest in that isn't directly related to your business, right? So I'm talking software, video editing software, different things for marketing, like I have bags with my logo on it, I have playmats with my logo on it, everything like that, graphic design, and different softwares you have to, pay for. Shopify, at least that's where I host my web shop at the moment, and I think it's all these little things that you don't necessarily think about or take into consideration, and suddenly you have a lot of bills to pay every month in your pretty small business. Another Pokeball. So I think for me a suggestion would be to really look into what you can do to actually have an overview of your expenses once you're going into it, and kind of make an estimate on exactly what you'll be needing once you get started. And we actually got just one hit in 2 tins. It is Prismatic Evolutions, everyone. Well, thank you so much for watching this short and brief video. I'm happy that you're here. Remember to subscribe, hit the bell notification so you know when I'm going live and when I upload new videos. And remember to follow me on all other social platforms. And remember to check out the Fleanomania website. The link is in the description, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!